Welcome to the Sports Fashion Podcast, where style meets substance and fashion becomes a conversation. I'm your host, Deeflamez, a fellow fashion and sports enthusiast. Here we have candid conversation about fashion trends, designs, sports, and music. Join me as we continue to educate, entertain, and strive to push the culture forward. Welcome and enjoy the show. Welcome to another episode of the Sports Fashion Podcast. I'm your host, Deeflamez, man, and I'm going to get straight to it. This weekend, I was going to do an emergency pod, but it got crazy. First off, round of applause. Round of applause for Drake and Kendrick. I haven't seen the hip-hop community this amped in so long, man. For y'all that don't know, you already know what I'm about to get into. Drake versus Kendrick, man. Some tracks dropped this weekend. It's crazy. You know, we getting straight to it. So, obviously, y'all know this weekend, Drake dropped the Family Matters 7-minute track. You dig what I'm saying? Drake went crazy. You know, Kendrick followed right back maybe like 10 minutes later after Drake dropped that with the Meet the Grams. Then he came back, yesterday? I think it was this morning or yesterday. Right back with the You Not Like Us or Not Like Us. All three of those tracks was fire, man. But we're going to get into it. I ain't going to lie to y'all, man. I think Kendrick might have won the battle. But I think, long run, I think Drake is going to win the war. Let me explain before y'all start looking at the phone or looking at however y'all looking at this. Whatever screen y'all looking at. Let me explain before y'all start looking at the screen crazy. That's what I mean. I think that Kendrick versus Drake is literally this generation's Jay-Z versus Nas. I'm old enough to be there when Jay-Z and Nas got there. I'm not old enough for the Pac and Biggie shit, but I'm definitely old enough to be able to remember and to talk about the Jay-Z versus Nas shit. And this is what I'm saying. Like, Kendrick is a very, lyricism. He's a very good lyricist. Very good, you know what I'm saying? The way he put that shit together. Double, triple entendres, quadruple entendres. I'm one of those guys that like the in between the lines type shit. Like, I like to piece the shit together when I listen to it type shit. So his shit was fire to me. But Drake is the better song maker. You dig what I'm saying? Like, Drake's songs gonna resonate whether it's the East Coast, West Coast, Australia, China, Africa. It don't matter. The South. Drake's makes music that everybody, no matter where you from, can fuck with. If you guys go back and listen to the Not Like Us song, the last song that Kendrick dropped, I think it was either this morning or yesterday, you can tell that's a very West Coast vibe. You dig what I'm saying? If you're not from the West Coast, you're not gonna appreciate the track. Or if you're not familiar with the West Coast culture and how they get down out there, you're not gonna appreciate the track as much as most will. You dig what I'm saying? The track is fire. You dig what I'm saying? But if you're not from that culture, you don't understand. It don't hit like that. You dig what I'm saying to people? You know what I mean? I think both of them are being petty. Obviously, with the Not Like Us cover art, you got the picture of the embassy, Drake's house, and then you got the little pedophile little symbols on top of the house indicating that there's pedophiles in there and shit like that. You got Drake with the Family Matters. That's the Family Matters. You dig what I'm saying? You got Kendrick dropping the picture. He done took it down now, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he found out that it was fake or whatever the case may be, but the picture from the Meet the Grams record with the receipt of the pills and the glove and the shirt that end up being, that's supposed to be Drake's dad shit type shit. You dig what I'm saying? So these motherfuckers are being extremely petty and extremely creative. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna give my opinion. I don't give a fuck if y'all don't agree. It is what it is. I said it earlier. I think Kendrick is winning the battle. If everything's done now, if Drake doesn't respond and it's over with, I think Kendrick wins the battle, but I think Drake ultimately wins the war. Here's why. For the right now, current time, Drake's winning. We're all talking about how Drake's winning. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, excuse me. We're all talking about how Kendrick's winning. My bad. Kendrick's winning. My bad. But I don't think any of those songs that Kendrick dropped are going to be like songs that we fuck with 10 years from now. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like, Kendrick's not in the public eye like that. Kendrick isn't public when it comes to business. He's not, the most, he doesn't have that charisma to him. He has it when he wants to show it, but he doesn't show it as much for business mind, promoting things in business. Drake, he has his brand, the OVO. He's with Jordan and shit. He's with Nike and shit, the sponsorships and everything, which is similar to how Jay-Z, Jay-Z had the Ace of Spade. Jay-Z had the, the Reeboks back in the day, the S. Carters. So when you look at it, I do feel like currently, like me personally, I think that Nas won the back and forth with Jay-Z. Just like I think Kendrick is winning this back and forth with Drake. But I do believe, like, in the totality of everything, I do believe, like, when you make your list, I'm not putting Nas over Jay-Z. I told y'all know Jay-Z my favorite rapper of all time. I think he number one. I'm not putting Nas over Jay-Z, and I'm not putting Kendrick over Drake when it comes to that list. You dig what I'm saying? So, that shit fire, though. That shit is so fire. But I gotta keep it a buck with y'all, man. Out of all the songs that were made between Drake and Kendrick, you dig what I'm saying? Going back and forth, the tailor-made freestyle, the push-ups, the euphoria, the 616 and 616 in LA, the Family Matters, all the songs that were made. The best song out of all of them is Family Matters. The best song out of all of them is Family Matters. And I'm saying best song. Family Matters, if you want to include like that with Future and what's the name, cool. But I'm talking about songs that's just them, like just Kendrick and just Drake type shit. Out of all the songs that they made, the best song out of all of them is Family Matters. That's a fact. That's a fact. The best song out of all of them is Family Matters. No cap. You dig what I'm saying? So, I do believe, Family Matters, you can throw Family Matters in the club. Now with that being said, the song Not Like Us, you can also throw that on in the club. But I believe that that's a West Coast song. You're going to throw it on in the club on the West Coast. I don't think you bringing that to Atlanta. I don't think you bringing that to New York. I don't even think that you might even bring it at in certain parts of Texas. I don't think you bringing that to Houston. You dig what I'm saying? That was literally a West Coast feel. So it's for the West. And Kendrick already said that what he's doing is for the West. So I respect it. But Family Matters, you're playing that in New York. You're playing that in Houston. You're playing that in Atlanta. And let's cop it up. You're going to be playing that in California somewhere. You dig what I'm saying? So I think that Drake made the better song. But lyrically, Kendrick is just a monster, yo. Lyrically, Kendrick got it. Lyrically, Kendrick cleared Drake. And it's not clear like, it's, what I'm saying? If it's a scale of 1 to 10, lyrically, Kendrick went 10, Drake went 8. You dig what I'm saying? But the songs are the opposite. The song Family Matters to me is a 10. Because now it's more like Drake got super creative, because Drake took time in between bars, addressing multiple people in between bars to get back to the main target. You dig what I'm saying? Talking about Rakim. If you don't know, for the old heads, it's not Rakim that y'all thinking about. It's not Rakim that y'all thinking about from back in the early 90s, late 80s, mid to late 80s. We're not talking about that Rakim. He's talking about A$AP Rocky. You dig what I'm saying? He's talking about A$AP Rocky. That shit's crazy. And he's like, do the math on who I was hitting at that point. At that point in time, everybody knows who he was hitting at that point. That shit was out of this world. That shit is crazy. You dig what I'm saying? But then he addresses Rick Ross. You know what I'm saying? But the Rick Ross, he called me a white boy. You know what I mean? And then he called me a white boy, talking about, it has a ring to it because in the club they throwing the white flags while everybody in the club singing to it. Crazy, dog. No cap, that shit is crazy to me. You dig what I'm saying? Like the way that he's able to address everybody, yo, and then still zero in on Kendrick and give Kendrick that work. You go to Family Matters and you know, if you want to just see nothing but Kendrick, go to the song Family Matters and go all the way to about 2 minutes and 30 seconds left and press play on that last beat. Damn, I hit the mic. On that last beat, press play. Kendrick now open his mouth. Somebody go get Kendrick just open his mouth. Somebody go get a Grammy right now. Where's your uncle at? Because I want to speak to that man. This nigga Drake went crazy, dog. And this is why I say if for the Drake fans, they can have an argument that Drake won. Again, my opinion is that Kendrick is winning. I want to make that very clear. My opinion is Kendrick is winning. But for the Drake fanatics, they could really make an argument that Drake winning. Now, mind you, I'm not from Canada. I'm not from California, so I don't have a leg in the race as far as geography. So I'm just going off of what I'm hearing. I'm just loving the energy of hip hop. But when you listen to Drake on what Drake was saying, outside of and even with that, you know what I mean, there were accusations, but outside of the Kendrick beating his girl shit, you dig what I'm saying? What's not facts? What's not facts? You know what I'm saying? And if we break it down, what's not facts? He talked about how, you know what I'm saying, his daddy got robbed by Top Dog. Kendrick admitted that. He talks about and for the people that don't understand the where's your uncle at, because I want to speak to the man of the house. If you don't understand what Drake is saying, do your homework, yo. As FYB J Main would say, do your homework. Do your homework on, you know what I'm saying? Do your homework on Kendrick's, you know what I'm saying, aunt being transgender. Do your homework on Kendrick's uncle beating his mama. This is fact. Kendrick has validated all of this. So, you know, I'm listening to the shit that Drake is talking about, and Drake is literally speaking like fact. You dig what I'm saying? Of course, he's sprinkling in propaganda. He's sprinkling in a little bit of BS, or it might not be BS. We just don't got the proof for it. But a lot of the shit that he said to Rick Ross, like waving white flags while they singing his song. There's videos of the clubs around the world. They waving their white towels, white flag, and they singing Drake. It's facts. It's facts. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of the shit that Drake was talking about, Drake was really like, you feel me? Like Drake was really speaking facts. You dig what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna cap to you. Like I had this with some of my homeboys. I'm in like 4 different group chats with some of my homeboys, and we've had this conversation. I tell them like, yo, when a motherfucker rapping and then like they rapping about facts, it hit harder. You dig what I'm saying? It hit harder. You know, and I know y'all listening to this like, damn, but you said that Kendrick won. I'm saying Kendrick won because Kendrick, from one, he has more, and then Kendrick had a singular target in Drake, and all he did was attack Drake. Drake addressed Kendrick, but then addressed everybody else, which gave Kendrick the advantage, because Kendrick's like, no, I'm coming straight at you, and I'm sticking right on target. Pause. That was crazy. But I'm staying right on target with targeting you. You dig what I'm saying? So lyrically, Kendrick, the way he put that together, that shit is out of this world, yo. That conversation that he had with in Meet the Grams, the conversation that he had with by the way, it's been proven that it's fake, but the conversation that he was having with the imaginary daughter, that shit was crazy. I ain't gonna cap. That shit was out of control. You dig me? But what I will say is just that Drake definitely showed like why he's Drake. You dig what I'm saying? Like, and then the Drake shit, the Family Matters, you're playing that in the club, bro. You're playing that in the car. Like, with Kendrick shit, like, you really got to sit down and really, like, listen to try to get what he's saying, you know, except for the Not Like Us. The Not Like Us record, you could play in the club. You could play in the car. You dig what I'm saying? But everything else is like, you got to sit there and analyze what he's talking about and listen to get what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? And Drake's like, yo, I'm going to make something to where they going to hear what I'm saying to you, but they going to be dancing. They going to be having a good time. It's going to be a vibe. I'll fuck with it. So you dig what I'm saying? But I do believe that Drake's the better song maker. I think Kendrick the better lyricist. And like I said, I do believe that this generation is Jay-Z versus Nas. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. This beef between Kendrick and Drake, also for me and anybody that you know that's old enough to understand and listens to Jay-Z the way he said, the way I do, this beef literally is another example of why I think Jay-Z is the greatest of all time. Because Jay-Z predicted this for Drake. Jay-Z predicted this for Drake. Go listen to the song Light Up by Drake and Jay-Z and listen to Jay-Z verse. And you can't tell me that Jay-Z did not predict exactly what's going on right now between Drake and Kendrick. Jay-Z in his verse predicted this for Drake. And that verse, I think that was on his first album. And that verse is like 15 years ago. And he predicted what's going on right now in his raps. That's why, to me, and I know this is about Kendrick and Drake, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sidebarring to Jay-Z. But that's why Jay-Z, to me, is the greatest, because Jay-Z has a bar for anything that you could deal with in life. That's crazy to me, yo. That is absolutely insane, G. You know what I'm saying? But back to the Drake and Kendrick shit. I think Kendrick is winning. I think Drake is going to eventually win the war. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I'm good if neither one of them drop again. I'm perfectly good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm perfectly good if they go back to doing the subliminal shit. Like, y'all gave us the back and forth. You dig what I'm saying? This doesn't do anything to neither one of their careers, because both of them are already established already. Both of them are already considered legends already. So this doesn't hurt Drake. This doesn't boost Kendrick. You dig what I'm saying? I want to give thanks to the boy. I want to give thanks to the boy because he did say something facts. No, you went number one because of the boy. I'm gonna be honest with you. Since before the early days, this the most that Kendrick done dropped back to back to back in like 8-9 years. When the last time we seen Kendrick drop like this? Boom, boom, boom. Kendrick done dropped, what, 5 songs in the last month? You dig what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like, Drake's the only nigga, and maybe J. Cole, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get to J. Cole in a minute. But Drake is the only nigga that could get Kendrick to pop outside like this. Thank you, Drake. Somebody got Kendrick to pop outside and start dropping some music, bro. Like, I know Kendrick on his whole, you know, I'm boring. That's because I love peace. I get all of that, my nigga. Drop some music, my nigga. Drop some fucking music, G. Like, come on, bro. You too talented for just be sitting there going away for 5-6 years and coming back. Like, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was garbage, bro. I'm sorry, that shit was garbage. The message on it was fire, but overall, musically, it was trash. You dig what I'm saying? Like, your damn album was fire. Good Kid, Mad City, fire. You know what I'm saying? To Pimp a Butterfly, that was fire. To me, that was fire. A lot of people didn't like that record, that album, but that shit was fire to me. Section 80 is a classic too, but what you just dropped, that shit was trash. I ain't gonna say what you just dropped, but the last thing you dropped was trash. So I do like the fact that Drake was able to pull Kendrick out of his little shell and have Kendrick the fuck outside, yo. I'm glad he got Kendrick the fuck outside. It's about time Kendrick came outside, bro. You know what I mean? You know, King Kendrick, bro. I'm glad he outside. Drake, I'm glad he outside. Now that brings me to J. Cole. And all of this right here makes J. Cole's apology not bad at all. What would we say if J. Cole got privy of, oh, this is about to get personal. Let me bow the fuck out because this is personal. I don't got no personal issues, neither one of y'all. I jumped out there thinking that this was just rap. And then both of y'all are telling me, no, it ain't just rap. This is personal. So let me bow the fuck out. I respect the fuck out of J. Cole for that. Now that we've seen what's transpired, I respect J. Cole for that. Because if he knows that it's, you know what I mean? If he knows that it's personal, it's like, oh shit, this my man. I thought we was on some rapping shit. But now that he's told me, oh no, that shit is about to get personal. Oh, hey, my fault, bro. I thought it was just rapping shit. My fault. Let me bow out, y'all too. I don't got no problem with neither one of y'all. Y'all do your own thing. I respect the fuck out of J. Cole because J. Cole won't gonna fake the funk and try to act like he had problems with neither one of them and try to take clout off the situation. Nah, like he don't got no problem with neither one of them, so J. Cole stayed the fuck out of it, and I respect the fuck out of J. Cole for that. Because there's a lot of artists that they will fake the funk. They would see, oh, I can get a lot of clout from this. I can get my numbers can run up off this beef. Let me jump into this shit, even though I know I don't got no personal problems with either one of them. J. Cole stayed true to himself and he bowed out, so I respect it. So I don't put no asterisk against J. Cole for bowing out because we see how personal it got. You know what I'm saying? These niggas bringing up their kids. You got one dude. You got Drake accusing Kendrick of being of domestic violence. You got Kendrick accusing Drake of being a pedophile. Like you got Drake accusing Kendrick of saying that one of Kendrick's kids not his. Like it's crazy. You got Kendrick saying that, yo, you got sex offenders in your crew. You knowingly got sex offenders in your crew. Like, it's personal. Drake bringing up my man Kendrick's wife. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Kendrick trying to bring up some imaginary child. Like, it's crazy out here. But I love it. Hip hop is back. Hip hop, I ain't gonna say hip hop is back. I don't think it went nowhere, but the competitive nature that has been an element of hip hop is back. I don't believe that everybody should be competitive. I'm not that guy. You dig what I'm saying? I believe that competition can breed chaos. Competition can breed death. You dig what I'm saying? It's too easy. All right, we gonna, for example, if me versus y'all, we get in a rap battle and then I say something that you take to heart and you take it personal, it hurts you, and then you say something personal back to me. Now we done went past rap. And now that we went past rap, now it's a real issue when we see each other. So now it turns violent. Now it turns to a bigger issue. All because we started off on some rap shit. Now, do I believe that these two, Drake and Kendrick, it's gonna go past rap? I mean, based off of what it said, if it does go past rap, I'm not surprised. When you bring up a man's kids or you bring up a man's wife, I'm not surprised, bro. Now, what I will say this, though. I say that Kendrick wins right now. I'm saying that off the strength that there might be some receipts or might be something that could bring some validity to the pedophile shit. You know what I'm saying? To the pedophile shit. If there's no validity that comes from that, if there's nothing that comes from that, I think over time we're gonna start looking at Kendrick's diss tracks a little bit different. We're gonna start looking at Kendrick's diss tracks a little bit different. Cause I think that now people are gonna be like, you said all this and nothing came from it. But when Drake was saying, like, there's validity to everything that Drake was saying. You know what I mean? Like, even to the point where the kid might be yours. Like, it's known. He talked about how he had a mixed queen. Kendrick's wife is mixed. His girl is mixed. He talks about that baby might not be his. Kendrick hasn't came out in public held his son. Like when Drake is when he pointing, like as I'm thinking about it, I might have to say Drake got it low key. But when you start looking at the points that Drake's making, everything that Drake's making is lining up with fact. We don't see Kendrick publicly out holding his son. Kendrick's son is significantly lighter than Kendrick. Kendrick's son's complexion is closer to the dude that Drake is saying is allegedly the biological father of him. You dig what I'm saying? Not saying that any of that is fact, but it's like the optics of it. You dig what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think for Kendrick's songs to hit even harder than what they already are, pause. That's crazy. My fault. For his songs to resonate even more than they already are, I do believe that there has to be some type of proof of validity or something to these accusations. You dig what I'm saying? Like, you can't just be saying this and then it don't be real, and then it's like that takes the steam away from the diss track as time goes by. You dig what I'm saying? So, but I do love the fact that it got competitive, you know, especially at the top of the top. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I think Kendrick and Drake is this, or Drake and Kendrick, whichever way you want to say it, is this generation's Jay-Z and Nas for sure. You know what I mean? I think it is this generation's Jay-Z and Nas. But I do believe that Drake took the Jay-Z approach, which was, I'm going to try to bring it back. You know, everybody knows the famous line that Jay-Z said in The Takeover. 4 albums in 10 years, nigga. I can divide this one every, let's say 2. 2 of them shits was due. One was Nah, the other was Illmatic. That's a one hot album every 10-year average. Now, people are going to say, well, the math on that was wrong, da-da-da-da. The point was, in comparison to how successful the album Illmatic was, the rest of the albums that he did up to that point weren't, they weren't terrible, but in comparison to Illmatic, they didn't measure up. And that was facts. The numbers support that Illmatic was better than any other album he had before that verse that Jay-Z made. You know what I'm saying? So Jay-Z is, you know what I'm saying? And then he did insinuate, you know what? Did you know who? But you know what? Let's keep that between me and you. Like, he insinuated about, you know, Nas's girl, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So I think Drake took that approach, but Kendrick took the ether approach. Like, I'm going to go straight at you. It ain't going to be, I'm not going to deviate nothing. Every single bar is going straight at you. If y'all remember Ether, boom, 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 fuck Jay-Z. Like, come on, bro. He went straight after Jay-Z. And I think, again, and then if you look at their styles, Kendrick is more of the lyricism, a message behind my music, talk to my people, which is basically which is a lot of what Nas did. Drake is, I'm a lyricist, but I make hits. But I have messages in my music too. I just don't focus on all of it. I'm to a broader audience. I'm for worldwide. I'm from everybody. Jay-Z. You dig what I'm saying? So I do believe that that this was definitely a good bout. Like, if it stops right now, I'm happy. I'm definitely happy. 2024 has been an amazing year. To the Club Shay Shay interviews, they going crazy. Now we got the big 3 going at it. You know what I mean? It's fire. You know what I mean? It's definitely fire. You dig what I'm saying? Like, even the ladies getting into it. You know what I'm saying? Ice Spice and Lotto. You know what I'm saying? Lotto pulling up to the Bronx in her Sunday service is crazy. It's nasty work, no cap. And she pulled up with 20 Suburbans. That is absolutely insane. Shout out to Lotto. Shout out to Ice Spice too. You know what I mean? Bitch, you think you the shit? You're not even that is funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, so even the girls are getting into the beef. You dig what I'm saying? Pause. Whoa. That's not a pause though, but even the girls are getting into the back and forth, the rap back and forth. You know what I mean? So, like, this year has been amazing. Now, with all of this being said, Kendrick can't go back into being dormant and not dropping no music. Kendrick, you gotta drop something, bro. I ain't gonna cap. You gotta drop a project, something. We already know. We all waiting for the fall off. You know what I mean? Shout out to J. Cole. We definitely waiting for that. I don't give a fuck what's going on. We still waiting for that fall off album, Fire. You dig what I'm saying? So, but music has been rocking. I am looking forward to see what comes next. Like, Drake did say on his Family Matters records that he's going on vacation, so we don't know if he's gonna answer back to the Not Like Us record. You know what I mean? I have to speak on this though. I do think it's corny when you pre-record a song and then wait. You know what I mean? I get that your angle is you got a mold, but it's like to be real. Drake already hinted out kind of like what his angle was going to be. So it wasn't hard to predict what he was going to try to rap about. Nobody knows yourself better than you know yourself. So if I'm Kendrick and I know, and he's hinted at my girl, I would be smart enough to be like, all right, what can he mention about my girl? Oh, he's probably going to mention the domestic violence shit. All right, what else could he talk about? You dig what I'm saying? Like, you know yourself. It's like in battle rap, where dudes write pre-rebuttals. Like, if I'm going against you, and let's just say I got in a fight 2 weeks ago, and it's on film, right? I already know that my next opponent that I'm battling, they're gonna have an angle about the fight that I had 2 weeks ago. So I could literally write around combating that angle, and then I could just talk shit and make it seem like, yo, somebody in your crew told me this. That's how I knew, when the whole time I was like, nah, I knew it. I knew it already. I guessed that. You dig what I'm saying? So like when people be like, oh, he dropped so fast. How did he drop so fast? And he was already answering. It's like, nah. He probably made the track thinking, okay, in case that he talks about this shit or takes this angle, I'm gonna make a track to combat that. Which was smart on Kendrick's part. But it don't get no kudos for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't take the shock away. Like, if you in a rap battle, anybody that watches battle rap, shout out to all the battle rap leagues, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that watches battle rap, you can tell the difference between a freestyle rebuttal and a pre-written rebuttal. Because a freestyle rebuttal is, you know what I'm saying, and some of them do it. Like, shout out to A-Ward, shout out to Charlie Clips, shout out to Bangs, shout out, you know what I'm saying, to those guys that, Chef Trez, shout out to those guys that really rebuttal like that. But it's like, if I got something written, and then you say something, and I already got it written and it's already a part of my round, it's going to sound like it. You dig what I'm saying? Like, when you listen to the Meet the Grams track, it sounds like, yo, like it was already made and it was ready to put out because it was already written. So it's like, okay, I know, okay, he gonna take this angle on me. Let me go ahead and make a song about that angle to try to. It's just like in battle rap. Let me try to, as people will say, let me try to 8 Mile myself so that your round won't. Just so that your rap or your round or whatever you say won't hit. For me, it didn't work. I hated the Meet the Grams record. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hated that record. Not Like Us is definitely a lot better than Meet the Grams. But my whole thing is like, he tried to do that, and it's like, for a lot of people it did work. For me, that's just, it's not enough. It's not enough. You dig what I'm saying? So, but I think overall, I think Drake is definitely a legend. I think Kendrick is a legend. I think Kendrick won the battle, but I think Drake eventually is going to win the war. I think Drake is going to be a more successful artist. I mean, he already is a more successful artist. I think he's going to continue to be the more successful artist just because he makes the music for a much broader audience. He appeals to the women a lot more than Drake. I mean, a lot more than Kendrick. Respectfully, you know what I mean? So I think Drake's going to have a successful career, and I think overall Drake is still going to go down ahead of Kendrick when it's all said and done. But that's just my take, you know what I'm saying? That's my take on the whole scenario, man. Like I said, who knows? By the time this shit drops, they might have more records out. We don't know, you know what I'm saying? And I'll be right back in this motherfucker in here reviewing them shits, going over them shits to see. You never know. Shit, by the time this drops, shit, Drake might have dropped something to where I think Drake winning the battle now. You dig what I'm saying? So this shit is crazy, man. It's unpredictable. I'm really with it. But moving on, I'm gonna touch on this shit because I gotta get up out of here soon. Hey, we moving over to sports. Minnesota Timberwolves took game 1 against Denver in the Western Conference semifinals. And Edwards had 43-7 and Ant Edwards has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Ant Edwards has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Ant Edwards has arrived as a face of the NBA. That's a fact. That is a fact. This is not bullshit. That is 100% fact. Anthony Edwards has arrived as one of the faces of the NBA moving forward. With that being said, I want to change my prediction. And this is probably going to be a biased prediction because I told y'all how I feel about Anthony Edwards. And then I'm looking at how they played Denver. And I'm realizing, I think it was Ray John Rondo that said it. It's about personnel. When I'm sitting there, you have Rudy Gobert at 7'2", you can throw at Jokic. You have Cat, who's a 7-footer, you can throw at Jokic. You have Reeves, who's 6'9", 6'10", you can throw at Jokic. You saw that Nikola Jokic wasn't as efficient as he normally is. But if you watch the game, and I think everybody is saying this, but if you watch the game, they are definitely speeding up Nikola Jokic. They're speeding him up. They're making his brain think faster than what he normally is. Normally, Nikola Jokic can dictate the pace of the game as a big man, which is amazing, which is one of his biggest talents. But I do believe that Minnesota, if everybody stays healthy, I think Minnesota can get Denver up out of there in 7. And I think if Minnesota beats Denver, I think Minnesota's going to win the championship. So I know I had Denver winning before, but this Minnesota team is really looking promising. You know what I'm saying? Really looking promising. And I'm gonna be honest with you, because Porzingis is hurt, if he can't return no time soon, I got Minnesota and New York in the finals. Minnesota Timberwolves and New York Knicks in the NBA Finals. And I'm hoping, if that happens, please let New York win. The NBA is much better when New York wins. But I do think that if the Timberwolves win, like, that would be a crazy push for Anthony Edwards to be the face of the NBA. Taking over for LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant. I think, he could. Anthony Edwards could definitely hold on to that, and then that'll give him momentum going into Team USA. He emerges as one of the elites at Team USA. It'll definitely position Ant Edwards to be the face of the NBA for the next 10 plus years. So that's what I got on that. Orlando Magic just lost today in Game 7 to Cleveland. So Cleveland's going on to the second round to play Boston. I got Boston getting Cleveland out of there in 5 games. Tomorrow, the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers Game 1 in Madison Square Garden. I got the Knicks winning that. I got the Knicks winning that series in 6 games. I got the Minnesota Timberwolves winning the Denver series in 7 games. And then I have OKC. So I got OKC and Dallas. Oh, man. I'm gonna go Dallas just because the Kyrie and Luka has that experience. I think that in this series, the inexperience of the OKC Thunder is gonna show, and I got Dallas pulling that series out. So I got in the Western Conference Finals, Minnesota Timberwolves versus Dallas Mavericks. Eastern Conference Finals, Boston Celtics versus New York Knicks. And then, as y'all just said a couple of minutes ago, I got the Timberwolves and Knicks meeting in the finals, and I got the Knicks winning the championship. Let me take that back. I want the Knicks to win the championship, but I also want Timberwolves. I don't know. I just know that I feel like both of them teams are going to be in the NBA Finals, in my opinion. But yeah, like I said, with that being said, I got to get up out of here, man. And shout out to Angel Reese, Caitlin Cart, Camila Cardoso, Cameron Brink, that block you have was crazy, girl. Let's see what you're doing out there with the LA Sparks. Shout out to all the, again, I'm going to keep shouting out the women's basketball, man, because what they doing is monumental, it's crazy, it's off the charts, man. I'm loving seeing it, you know what I'm saying? I wish there was a way that we could start their season away from the NBA playoffs. You know what I'm saying? I do know their season goes into the summer after the playoffs are over. So I'm definitely going to be paying attention to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to pay attention as much as I can because then you got, the Olympics coming up this summer too. So I'm going to be looking at the women's team in the Olympics and the men's team and, all of that and track. Shout out to Sha'Carri Richardson. I'm rooting for her. You dig what I'm saying? So, but it's a lot going on in sports this summer. I can't wait. I cannot wait. There's a lot going on in sports this summer. With that being said, it's your boy Deeflamez, man. I appreciate y'all coming through, man. I know this was a short pod, but I definitely wanted to get that music stuff out, man. It was going too crazy for me not to speak about it, man. Again, y'all know the socials, man. Instagram, follow me on Instagram at Deeflamez _DEEFLAMEZ _. Also follow the pod, Sports Fashion Podcast on Instagram, Sports Fashion Podcast on YouTube, and you can follow my TikTok at Deeflamez on TikTok, man. With that being said, I appreciate everybody coming through. You already know what it is, man. Y'all keep your head up. Y'all keep grinding. Remember, if you find a passion, you pursue it. If you pursue it and be persistent and consistent, you achieve it. Remember that. I'm gone.
I can't lie, I feel blessed. I can't lie, I feel blessed. I can't lie, I feel blessed.